It is so nice to be able to say that that quarter-acre clearing that we did is done and the grass is growing in. We haven't had a lot of rain around here, which is why I'm watering. I wouldn't say we're in a drought yet. I don't know what the qualifications are, but in 3 weeks we certainly haven't had very much rain. A few storms pass through, but anyway, grass is coming in nicely. Just let it grow. On to the fence project, and as always, you got to do a lot of work before you can start working. I've got to clean this up some. I've got to be able to get back there, and well, you know what it looks like back there from the last video where I ran the string trimmer. It's still a cluttered mess. I have a lot of clearing back here to do still to be able to get all of this material. You know, I've got 10-foot 4x4s that I need to tractor back into that, and it's a mess. I think the first thing I need to get out of the way are these railroad ties that I saved. I know I'm going to use them for something, but anyway, that's got to be out of here. And then I've got to clear a bunch of this, and then I need all of this cleared out, because the first post is going to go right back here where that corner marker is. So this all needs cleared out. This is where I need to start, but I need to get here in order to start and go right alongside this string. I need to get the tractor back here because this is a lot of work. Picking up all these logs and sticks and burning, and well, I don't know. I gotta start somewhere. Oh. I cleared it out pretty good. Oh, I got to be able to get in here and start cutting this stuff out. But first, I've got to sharpen the dull blade on my, you know, you got to have a crappy saw. You got to have one saw that you just kind of use in this stuff. And I got a lot of scrub to cut through. And this thing is dull, but I can get back here now. I can get back. I've got at least 8 feet, maybe 10 feet to be able to get through here. And I got to cut all that out so I can get the tractor, start worming my way back in there. Yeah. Well, all right, I'd say I'm making some progress. This is good. This area here is actually going to be where the wood yard is going to expand out. Give myself about another extra 10 feet. And now I'm finally getting to where I can move along this fence line. So where the new fence is going to come. And I should point out, I said this before in a way earlier video, but this is not straight, this fence that I put in. This is going to have to come out. I don't know if you can see it. This is coming off the property line by quite a ways. Don't put a fence in until you know exactly where your property line is. Anyway, this won't be a big deal. I'm going to pull these posts out and I'll reposition the fence once I get to it. But now I can get back in here, clear this out, clear along the string over here, and just take loads and loads and loads out. Now the loads that I am taking out, you see I'm putting them in my trailer. We have a local garden center that recycles brush and limbs and whatnot. So I'll just take it all there and you just dump it and you're done. So I don't really have anywhere I can burn anymore. 3 acres of property and I don't want to burn anywhere. That's a good sign though. Everything is turning out so that I don't want to mess it up. So anyway, I think I made a lot of progress so far. Let's start working on the fence line. That'll be tomorrow. All right, come hell or high water, I am going to get this line straight and I'm going to clear and be ready for that fence. But first, we're going to talk a little bit about urushiol. Poison ivy, yeah. And I know, yeah, see that? I got it, yeah. So how to prevent it, first of all. Now, how did I get this in the first place? If you watch the previous video where I was doing all that weed whacking and demonstrating that trimmer, I was not doing any of this prevention, and that was a big mistake. You're gonna get it. I know they say leaves of 3, leave it be, you know, for poison oak or poison ivy. Sure, back here, how am I gonna leave it be? I mean, I'm cutting in it, I'm moving sticks and brush and whatnot. Let me tell you, the first thing that helps me to avoid that stuff is using that grapple. Yeah, using a grapple really helps limit the amount of times you have to touch that horrible stuff. Anyway, this is how I prepare. And if you watch the first part of this video, you'll notice, you know, I know it's a lot of time lapse and everything, but if you watch closely, you'll see I'm wearing this stuff. Here's my first tip. I take this Technu Poison Ivy Scrub because it's a gel. Now, all of this Technu stuff has some kind of an active ingredient in it, polyoxyethylene or something, some lauryl ether. Anyway, it's got a lot of crap in it that helps prevent that, or I don't know if it counteracts it or what it does, but anyway, it does help prevent that. So first thing I'm gonna do is put it on my arms. All right, so take a liberal amount of this gooey stuff. And I'm just gonna rub it all up and down my arms. Because it will get up here just as easily as it'll get on your hands and wrists. As a matter of fact, the skin in here is much thinner. It doesn't have callus or buildup or anything. And the pores open up and, oh boy, poison ivy right here. Ooh, that's bad. All right. All right. Next, rubber gloves first. The rubber gloves are important because that oil, urushiol, will not penetrate these rubber gloves. So you can touch anything you want with these on, which is important because when you're removing everything, you need to be able to grab it and pull it off. So having these gloves on allows you to grab the other garments that I'll show you and take them off. All right, gloves are on. Now, it's hot, and I could tell you, you know, wear long sleeves, but who's gonna wear long sleeves out in 80+ degree weather? I have found these are sleeves made of like a dry fit material. They breathe. That's a bad thing that they breathe because the oil can get through them, but it's a lot better than it just being bare skin. So you don't want to sweat to death out here, but you also want to have some protection. So these sleeves go all the way up, cover your arm. All right, there we go. So I have the outer garment to try and keep as much of the oil off of my arms and hands as possible. And if it does get through, I've got that Technu ointment or gel, and that will hopefully neutralize any of it that might get through. If it does, of course, long pants, jeans, whatever you might want to wear. And then I'm going to use my work gloves over top of these gloves to work with the plants and stuff. And once again, when you take those work gloves off, you're not throwing those gloves away. So having these rubber gloves on to be able to handle these garments when you take them off helps to prevent you from getting it all over your hands. Finally, when you are done working completely, you need to wash in cold water. Cold water is important because it does not open your pores and allow that urushiol to go into your pores. Cold water, and use dish soap like Dawn dish soap because it eliminates grease and oils. And when you dry with a terry cloth towel, just a standard terry cloth towel, and wipe it vigorously off, because that, you know, it's like if you got motor oil on yourself and you wanted to get rid of motor oil. That's pretty much the same consistency, and you're using that Dawn dishwashing detergent to break it down and then wipe it all off and rinse good, and you really should be fine after that. Now, I always take a shower, completely shower afterward in cold water. I know that's not very pleasant, but you don't want your pores opening up and absorbing that. Now, if you really are going to be in the thick of it and you're going to be walking through the woods, you know, maybe clearing a footpath, and you know there's no way you're going to, I mean, you're really going to be into it. I have discovered that if you wear, or if I wear, a Tyvek suit, this is a Tyvek suit that painters use. This is like wearing a chemical suit. And boy, does this prevent it. You peel this thing off and throw it away when you're done. Don't try to reuse, ever try to reuse clothing or anything before it's washed, and don't ever try and reuse one of these, just throw it away. They come in like a pack of 5 or something like that, I buy them in. So if I'm really gonna be in the thick of it all day, I'll wear a Tyvek suit. I know it makes me look weird. You can actually put this on under your clothes. So if you wanna look normal, you can do that. But anyway, a Tyvek suit will really help keep that poison ivy off of you, and will allow you to avoid any unpleasantries for 2 weeks after, because that's how long it takes to recover from this, at least 2 weeks. So let me talk about while you're recovering from it, because you're not always going to avoid it. You are definitely like, I got it because I just wasn't thinking. So when you get a patch of it and that stuff itches like if you've had it, you know it itches. Here's a tip: hot water. As hot water as you can stand. Now, this is not to wash in. This is after you have the rash and it's already set in, and you know, you're just dealing with the itch. Hot water, as hot as you can stand, that won't scald your skin. I don't want you to damage your skin, but what it does is it overloads the neurons, overloads your nerve endings, not neurons, nerve endings, and it's as if you were like digging at it, but you're not damaging your skin. You're not scratching the skin off. It also causes all of the cells around the rash to release histamines at a super high rate, and they run out of histamine. So this will give you relief for up to 8 hours. And if you need to sleep at night, what I do is I do that hot water treatment, is what I call it. I put my rash under hot water until I just can't stand it anymore and I don't feel the itch anymore. And then I don't dry it. I just let it cool. And I'll go to bed with my arm all wet. So what? It's just water. But it allows me to sleep at night. And, you know, whatever you can do to get relief from this poison ivy it's worth it. So this may seem extreme, but hey, like I say, if you've ever had it before, you know what I'm talking about. So choker chain, Amazon.com. That's gonna about do it for this week. And I got a lot done, a lot of work to do work. Haven't even begun to put posts in the ground. But look at this, this string doesn't lie. If this string touches something, it's tied from corner to corner. If it touches something, I gotta cut it out. And the more I cut out, the farther that string goes back. And this is where my fence was headed. I mean, I'm 8 feet off the line. Wow. So I think the first thing I'm going to do when I start putting fence in is I'm going to correct my mistake. So the beginning of next week is going to be pulling these posts. Now, like I said before, these panels are just screwed on. So I'll be able to take the screws out and get those panels down, but then hopefully the 3-point on the Kubota will be able to pull those out of the ground. We'll see. So that's the stuff I'm doing next week. So come back and check it out, and we'll get this fence straightened out, literally. See you then.